Hi felicities, this is Jen Victor and you are tuned into the channel with no name. To the faithful felicities that continue to tune in, comment and have subscribed, welcome back. And to the new felicities, I call my subbies, or I call the people on this channel felicities, or felicity, because basically there was a point when everybody and their moms were saying like, bye Felicia, and I was like, what if that homegirl was a white Bia, you know? So instead of Felicia, it would be, well, maybe Felicia, Felicia, well, it depends on how it's spelled, I don't know. But then I was like, what if she was a white girl and her name was Felicity, like Felicity Smoke from The Arrow? I love that show. And so I said, bye Felicity, and it's kind of stuck. And yeah, so that's what I call y'all. So welcome to my channel. If you're interested basically in the experiences of a queer, non-binary immigrant Filipino living their life in the LA region, organizing on social and environmental justice issues, and well, trying to do that and look fabulous doing it, well, this is kind of the channel for you, because everything about my identity, I feel like intersects in all aspects of my life, and so I can't separate my love for fashion, my love for styling and, you know, beautiful handbags to the organizing work I do, trying to clean up the industrial pollution plaguing the community I grew up and live in. And so the personal is political. If you haven't heard of that, that's something that's really important to me, and I don't compartmentalize my lives. And so even with fashion, I will critique, you know, I will critique when there's really problematic things that come out of designers. Like, let's be real, we've been talking about Dolce & Gabbana. I mean, we already knew they were trash, but it's pretty bad, and that's a whole nother conversation. So that was a really long intro, but today we're not showing any handbags, we're not unboxing. There will be unboxings, there's reveals coming in the next couple of weeks. I'm sorry I've been really busy, and I'm sorry for this long intro. I'm really working on kind of like how to do this intro and talk about what this channel is, because today this is part of the pieces I'm telling you about the intersection of my identity, which is my 5 years of sobriety. When this video goes up, I'm filming this the night before, but when this video goes up, it will hit my 5 years of sobriety, as in 5 years of not just drinking, but a lot of things. Like, I used to take a lot of things that you shouldn't be taking, like drugs, narcotics, ecstasy, prescription pills, mixing all of them, you know, some white stuff that goes into, you know, one of your orifices. Like, yes, I'm not gonna lie, there was a point where I used to do that all the time, and 5 years ago was actually when I got my DUI. And for a lot of people, they're like, oh my gosh, a DUI, that's gonna ruin your life. But for me, I think that incident was the rock bottom, the turning point I needed, that made me realize I needed to make decisions for my life that was gonna not just add value to it, but I think bring me to a place that's gonna allow me to grow and be the best version of myself. And so if y'all know, 5 years ago, so December 13th, I can't even think. December 13th, 2013 was when I had my last drink, and on December 14th at like 12-ish a.m. I decided to drive home from the bar I was drinking at all the way back home to where I lived, and I got pulled over and ended up getting my DUI, and I was in jail for I think about like 8 to 10 hours in the drunk tank. And in that time I was mute. I could not speak, as in I was unable to speak because I was just so shocked, and at the same time really a point of introspection about where I found myself, and is this the place where I want to be, right? And so for me, that was this big turning point, because they always say there's a lot of lessons that you learn in failure, and those moments where we feel like we've lost everything, and that was finally that moment. And I'm not gonna lie, there were reasons why I ended up there. It wasn't just the drinking and the drugs, it wasn't just the partying. There were a lot of personal stuff, and I didn't create healthy mechanisms to address it. And so as I think about it, yeah, I didn't have the healthiest habits, and going through the problems that I was going through. I wasn't communicating the way I communicate now. And I think for me, in that moment, I said, well, I think maybe it's time to take a break from drinking and partying and drugs. And also I had to get my license back, obviously. So we're gonna figure this out. And I feel like going sober, like, you know, taking a break will help. And if you don't know, part of after you get a DUI, you have to take classes and go to court, yes, but then also go to Alcoholics Anonymous and different things to eventually get your license back. And part of those classes you take, they encourage, or you're supposed to be sober. And so I personally decided I'm gonna actually adhere to the program. And I did, and I went to Alcoholics Anonymous and kind of understood why it was created in terms of like really creating a support system that you can process, you know, when you're in that moment where you're like, I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna get a drink, I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna pop this pill or whatever, that you have somebody to support you. And so for me, that was, I think, one of the biggest lessons I learned that I still carry, is that instead of thinking about being sober for the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, you know, there's this phrase, it's like one day at a time. And that's really like how I've approached it. It's like not even one day at a time, but it's like one moment, one decision, one instance. In that moment, what are you gonna decide? And then you carry on from there. And then you get through your day and you do all the things that you need to accomplish your goals and move you forward to where you need to be. And then you carry on, right? And so for me, I think that was one of the biggest lessons that I learned, because yes, I was living, when I was partying, one day at a time, like one day at a time. So I'm gonna party as hard as I can. I'm gonna drop as many pills and listen to EDM and and all that stuff. But it didn't bring me, you know, I met a lot of really cool and fun people, but you know, when I got sober, a lot of those folks haven't stayed in my life the way that others that struggled with me through my really destructive partying habits. Give me a second, let me just sip my sparkling water. And so, like now, reflecting back on being sober for almost half a decade, it's actually been a really great blessing, and I feel really privileged because I built an amazing network of people, both blood family and chosen family, that helped me, you know, to go on a path that's going to be the most productive path for me, and that's bringing me to the place where I need to be, right? Because many of the folks know my goals, where I want to see myself, where I want to go, what I want to do, and what change I want to make with the world, with my community, and those folks are all helping me to get to that point. Whether it's like, you know, that one program, that one workshop, that one book, that one conversation, I have a support system that's moving me there. And I think being sober has helped me not just only to appreciate that, but actually genuinely engage with those folks in a meaningful way. Because for me, I think I was so like partied out and really like just disconnected, and that's part of why I partied, was to feel and not feel all at the same time. I know it's really strange, but I think for all the folks that are in recovery would know, like I don't want to feel anything, but at the same time I want to feel everything. And I don't want to feel anything in my life. I want to be disconnected from my life, but I want to be connected to all these other things. That was really kind of the place where I was at. And now I have this amazing you know, support system that it's 5 years later, and I'm actually able to pursue my goals and live the dreams that I dreamed of, and even dream new dreams. And then also I have a really fabulous bag collection, an amazing wardrobe, an amazing job where I've grown so much professionally, both as a person and as an organizer, and have developed an even more critical view of how I want to live in this world and how I want to build this world into a place that accepts all the different aspects of my identity, especially being queer and non-binary, and also a person of color, right? Like, it's a struggle to live in a world filled with so much hate, and so for me, you know, I wanted to share my experiences and reflections on being sober, just because, and I don't know if I've been looking, sorry, since I'm really trying to process 5 years, and even I'm shocked. Like, I'm shocked as I think about it, since if I had a conversation with Jan circa 2013, yeah, 2013 before the DUI to Jan 5 years later and sober. I would never have pictured myself where I am now, but I think that's been the beautiful thing about this life and this experience is that it's not what I expected, but I know I'm in the place where I need to be. And I want to share this on my channel because this is part of why I have conversations with y'all. Because, you know, as somebody who loves fashion, as somebody who loves to organize in their community, as somebody who wants to see a better world that we're seeing today, a better community, a better place to live in for, you know, especially for folks that that have been pushed out of society. Like, that's why I do this channel. It's not just like, oh, I'm gonna unbox these things. I want to share that with y'all, but I also want to share my politics, my experiences, and I want us to have a dialogue. And so I really want to thank all of y'all for just tuning in and being so supportive of this channel, and to my Blood and Chosen family, to the people that have stayed with me on this journey. I want to share my gratitude. Yeah, because I'm so appreciative. Because I know I wouldn't have gotten here without I'm saying a lot of like quotes and idioms, but like, you know, the village, the community, the people that helped bring me here. That I know that I've never been alone, and so this is just a huge thank you. And so yeah, I'm really excited to just celebrate this 5 years, and there's gonna be more to come. I'm gonna, you know, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna take it one moment, one instance, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month at a time. And so I definitely want to open this space up. So if you want to comment down below with your experiences, or if you want to DM me, feel free. But I really hope that you appreciated these like thoughts and reflections, being sober 5 years later. And it's something I'm going to talk more about, and not just on like kind of these anniversaries, monthsary. But you definitely this is an open space, and you're welcome to ask and share what you need to. And I really hope that you know, when I do this channel, y'all feel that openness. But yeah, so thank you so much. I don't know, I don't have anything else to say, but there will be more videos coming up. I'm just finishing up a very hectic past 2 weeks, and I'm helping plan my sister's wedding/wedding vow renewal. So hopefully after that I will be posting more videos. But I wanted to film this just to say hi to all of y'all. Thank you. I appreciate and love all of y'all, and the support, and to all my subbies, and also my family that watches this, both Chosen and Blood. Thank you again, and I will see y'all later. So bye, felicities.